All right, everybody. The tier lists have started coming and they don't stop coming. I had done a couple of long recordings that I broke into several videos to be released over the course of days. And now we're just in the tier list ghettos. People keep making me more. I asked people to make me more and they've made me more. And our boy Wada has gone ahead and made one of Anime Digibro scored a 6 on my anime list. So I have to sort my 6 out of 10s, which on any other chart would just all go into like the B, C category. But on this chart, they all have to compete with each other. So we can see just how much difference there
This is
is
a genius idea
between
for
one
tier
6
listing.
and another
Because
6.
a 6 on your scale, it just means like basically like watchable, or like I didn't super regret watching this.
Yeah,
And there's a lot of quality, like
I mean, as I was looking at them, I was like, it's gonna be difficult to really like break these apart because, like, 6 is it's almost a non-committal score. The way I've broken up my 10 list because the blogger Bacaraptor, who I've been mentioning a lot lately for some reason, he has this system that he's always used that goes plus, double plus, triple plus, minus, double minus, triple minus, because as he puts it, he doesn't want there to ever be something that's just considered in the middle. It's like either it's good or it's bad. Like either you overall enjoyed it or you overall didn't enjoy it.
yeah.
So I've
And,
just
like,
extended that to my whole top 10. My whole 10 scale, rather. I treat it the same way. If it's 6 through 10, it means that overall it was positive. If I regret watching it, it's a 5 or below, you know? But generally, 6 out of 10s, part of the theory, and if you read my mal, it says that these are shows I probably wouldn't watch again. But there
Yeah.
are a bunch of them that I would totally watch again. So it's even more muddied than so that's probably going to be the key deciding factor on what goes where.
All right.
There's also, thankfully, Wada included both not a real anime, meaning OVA special music video, etc., if there's something that I think is just not worthy enough to even be ranked, which, I mean, I gave them a score anyway, so I don't know if that's going to be necessary, but impossible to remember is definitely an important category for this.
Yes. Right away, I see that It Girl is on this list, and I demand that go in the highest category.
Well, we'll see what happens, all right?
All right.
We'll see how It Girl compares. Because the very first thing on here is Take Q Season 7, which I seem to remember. I feel like there's a Take Q. Hold on. We're gonna go to my mal, because I'm pretty sure there's a Take Q that I scored higher than all the other ones. And I don't remember which one it was. Of course, none of them have fucking.
You should just go to your list and sort by alphabet.
Yeah, this is faster.
No, it's not. If you go to your
Okay,
list
so
and sort by
9 is the
alphabet,
one
you
I
can
gave a
see 'em
7,
all.
and all the other ones I gave a 6. So, like, the thing about Take Q is that at its heights, it is fucking hilarious, but a lot of it is just, like, mind-numbing and hard to even parse. So, but I do really like Take Q in concept. Like, it's one of those shows that I almost feel bad about giving a 6. It's just I can't possibly give it higher. So I think I'd put it in A tier.
All right.
Kanamewo is pretty S tier. This is the short Yuri music video about the girl who finds that little alien. I showed it to you, right? The one where she like eats out this little alien
Yeah,
lolly.
you did show that to me.
I really love the music in it, and you know it's very memorable. Mayoiga is gonna go in, I think, B tier. I want to rewatch it because I definitely felt like, even though I did from the very beginning think it was trying to do something weird, like I definitely knew it wasn't just trying to be a horror show, I didn't expect it to be so much of a parody. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was going entirely in that direction, and it only became more obvious later, but I also don't know how well I think it accomplishes it, because it does kind of have a serious plot in a way that I don't know if I care for. I don't know. Gotta rewatch it to be fully sure if it even is a 6. Kanojo wa Zombie. Let me make sure I remember what this is, because if it is what I think it is. Okay, yeah, this is a cute little music video from the director of Take Q that I think I would put it at S tier. It's pretty fucking fun, pretty fucking cute. This I cannot read. I just straight can't read it. Let's see how much zoom we can get on this and see if we can read what the fuck this is. Koinaka It's definitely a porn. Let's see. Let's find out which porn it is.
You should put it in. They should just make a P category for porn.
No, I can score the porns.
Do you remember
them? This one, yeah. Actually, I like this one a lot. This one's going in S tier.
What happens in this one?
The girls are just really hot.
Is it Yuri or is it just straight?
No, it's straight. It's just a guy with two girls fucking them, and they're hot. The character designs are really good. The animation's pretty good. The thing about porn is that there was a time where I wanted to score them as how well they function as porn, but I feel like that's unfair to all the other shows. It's like my overall enjoyment of even the best porn is not as great as my overall enjoyment of a show I would score higher, you know?
Yeah.
It's not going to stick in my mind as easily, but if it's a porn I'm willing to return to, then I'll probably... And there's some that I've scored higher. You know, I think there's porns I've scored up to an 8. So...
For sure.
Fur Day Night, I barely remember. I'm pretty sure this is just a fun little music video. It's okay. We'll put it in C tier. It's not as memorable as Mayoiga, but I remember it being pretty fun. This looks like one of the seasons of Do-Da-Da-Da or an OVA. Yeah. Do-Da-Da-Da X2 Ketsu Do Fu Fu Fu.
Yeah, that's a...
Do you even remember this one?
I didn't watch the specials or OVAs.
I remember it being pretty unmemorable. I think it's probably a D. I really couldn't put my finger on it. I remember the OVAs from the first season, not the later ones. Masamune-kun's Revenge was fine. We'll put it in B. It's just like a show that is, well, maybe in C. Yeah, I think it belongs in C. It's a very light 6.
It's very 6.
I can't say that...
6C is a very 6.
Yeah, it's a very 6. No Game No Life 0 is the No Game No Life movie. I didn't really care for it that much. I'd put it in the C. This is one that, I only even gave it as good a score as a 6 because it looks really nice and it has moments. Particularly in the very back of the movie, it has some fun moments. But, overall, I was fairly negative on it. I did not enjoy it that much. ID 0.
The first anime we watched together.
I think it would get... probably a B. I mean, the early episodes are pretty fun, and then it just kind of devolves into fucking madness as it goes.
Yeah, I would put it with Mayoiga.
Yeah.
For overall enjoyment.
I had a good time with it. Was it the very first thing we watched together at all?
No, because we watched the one voice actor show.
Which voice actor show?
It was a show about a girl who was trying to be a
Koide
porn
Oshigoto.
voice actress. Yeah. That was the first show we watched together.
This is Ninja Ryukenden means... I think it's the video... Ninja Gaiden? It's like a Ninja Gaiden anime. It's not related to the games at all. But I remember it being a lot of fun. This is one that I had initially scored a 7, but then just the fact that it's not very memorable, because it's just a 50-minute early 90s OVA, but it has cool action, and it had good pacing. It just felt like a pretty good action movie that I could see watching again, but not so good that it would be the thing I decided to put on if I was trying to watch an action movie with my pals, you know?
Hell yeah.
Take You 8. I feel like I remember liking 7 more than 8, but I mean, I'm just going to put all the Take Qs I find in A, because I generally like it. Mary and the Witch's Flower is A, for sure.
Yeah, I liked it a lot more than the No Game No Life movie.
I mean, you gave it an 8.
I gave it, I think, a 7. But
I think at the time you gave it an 8.
Maybe I did. I don't remember. I can double check, but...
This, I straight don't... Wait, is this Lou Over the Wall? I think this is Lou Over the Wall.
Oh, boy.
I'd put it in C tier. I don't think I'd ever watch it again. It was fine. It had its moments, but... this is really... It's funny, because even though it says on Mal that 6 out of 10 means probably wouldn't watch it again, this really is the break, is right here. These are shows that if I was put in a position to watch it again, I would be down. Even ID 0, I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it again, but I wouldn't be
if
opposed.
Somebody put it on, it'd be oh, okay.
These are ones where it's I really can't see myself watching this again. you know, it's not like I regretted watching it, but it's just, I think this is To Be Heroine.
To Be Heroine.
That would go in S. It would have been a 7 out of 10, or even, it could have been higher based on, like, the first episode, because I loved the first episode, and then from there, it was just such a weird, confusing mishmash of stuff, and, like, the plot was interesting, just not that entertaining to me. Aiko, this is gonna go in B. It's another one where it's mostly the last stretch of episodes that really fucked it up. Like, I would say that the early episodes were like an 8, solid 8, until it hit a point where it was just like, oh, this has gotten completely retarded.
Michiru
Neko goes in S tier. This is a borderline 7 out of 10. It's just that it's, you know, there's no meat to it at all. It's just like very throw on and go, oh, that was cute. You will not remember any individual episode of it at all. Last period, definitely S tier. Certain episodes of that show are incredible. Other episodes are skippable. If I was going to rewatch it, I would just rewatch the best episodes, you know? Mm-hmm. But those would be... And Zombieland Saga I feel exactly the same about. Both of those were honorable mentions on
I'm sure I gave both of those shows
list.
a 7.
Yeah, I think you did. I think you were less harsh on them.
I liked them a whole lot. Like, a 6 for me is like, well, at least I didn't feel like I wasted these hours of my life. Like, yeah. I don't feel strong about it at all. Like, it didn't really leave an impression.
The thing is that my scores are done in a gradient. And, like, when I put together my list of the shows of the year, like, because I always have a notepad of every show from the year with its score so that I can know what they're going to be ordered like for the final thing. And so probably I just didn't want to put them above the stuff I'd marked as a 7, you know? And so it was like, these have to fall into the 6 category. But, like, you know, they're still better than a lot of other stuff. It's just the problems I had with them that held them back. Both were shows that were, like, on the chopping block in certain episodes. I mean, we dropped Zombieland Saga initially, you know?
Yeah.
Tenemonia Voyagers, I would put in S tier. I really do like this show. Particularly episode 4 is super memorable, but the rest of it is just not that much. And, like, it just kind of ends. We watched that together. The OVA. You remember the one where the girls were playing baseball on a spaceship? And it was, like, really trippy visuals. I think we watched it together. Maybe we didn't.
I don't remember that.
Maybe it was just that I watched it shortly before we started dating, and that's why I thought we watched it together. I definitely watched it with Devu. We did watch Alita together. Alita goes in either A or S.
Personally, I would put it in A. I'm thinking about the shows I put in B, and, like,
Yeah,
it fucking had some badass gore in it.
I mean, I've watched it, like, 3 times over the years, and, like, each time I watch it, I'm like... Because growing up, I thought of it as, like, being considered a classic, because, like, I had seen lots of ads for it, and, like, I had seen it in AMVs and stuff, and it has moments where it's really beautiful to look at, but, returning to it, I'm always struck by how the story just isn't that amazing in those 2 episodes. Mm-hmm. But whatever. The Wings of Honey Mize, definitely S tier. It's a movie that is super interesting. I just feel weird about it. I would definitely be down to rewatch it, though. Aruchubana Bichu. This deserves a 7. I don't know why I put this as a 6. It's a pretty fucking funny show. I'm sure it's just kind of inconsistent, but there's nothing else like it. It's super fucking raunchy. We have to watch it together, because you will love it. It's just about a dirty... fucking it's just about, like, a woman in a really shitty relationship, just going about her daily life and being miserable, but, like, also it's like nobody's a good person in the show. They're all just kind of shitty, and the hamster is also kind of shitty, but they all just beat the shit out of her mercilessly, and she just tries to clean the house and be a good hamster, but she's worthless. Everyone's worthless in it. Armitage the Third. This is one where I think I'd put it in A. It's pretty enjoyable for the aesthetic. The early episodes are fun.
Oh, that was Ebichu.
Yeah, Aruchubana Bichu.
Okay, I know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to watch that.
Armitage is the last couple episodes, because it's only 4 episodes. The first 2 are better than the second 2. It kind of, as I accused it of going in too much of like a Hollywood movie direction, like it just felt kind of generic, even though it had like a pretty interesting setting and premise. Pokemon the movie number 5, the Latias and Latios one. That movie's pretty alright. I'd probably put it in S. I would definitely watch it again. It's borderline a 7. Most people seem to rate it as one of their favorite Pokemon movies. I did not grow up with it.
That really goes to show you how bad some of the Pokemon movies are.
This one is about a whale. I know this is like a short, artsy film. I'm gonna put it in impossible to remember because I don't remember it well enough to know where I'd put it. Is this the second? Yeah, this is the second Galaxy Express 3-9 movie. I think I'd have to put this one in D category. It's really fucking pretty to look at. It's kind of an art. I mean, I did a whole video about this movie. That it's like this weird art house filler movie. It's not that I could never see watching it again just because of the visuals, but like it's just not interesting at all. In fact, I don't even remember if I watched it all the way through or if I just started skipping around at some point. So it's definitely on the, like, it's one of those that I put in a 6 because I appreciate the aesthetic so much, but I can't really see myself watching it again, and especially because I'd rather just watch the first movie again. Standalone Complex Tachikoma specials, that's an S. Those are a lot of fun. I just couldn't in good conscience rank it higher. A lot of people really, really love the Tachikoma specials, but I think that they're pretty hit or miss. Like, I love them in concept, but they're just okay. Gundam F91, definitely S tier. The first 30 minutes of it are incredible. After that, it's not memorable at all, but I mean, it still looks amazing. I would definitely watch it again. The Blackjack specials, those would also go in S tier. I did, like, a lot of this is stuff that it's like, yeah, I liked it. I just couldn't see myself returning to it, you know? But, like, I had no problems with it. I would watch it again, just not on purpose, you know? Mm-hmm. This is the Lupin the Third, The Case of Jigen. We watched that together, I think. If that's the one. No, that's not what this is. No, this is the one that was like from 1991 that I watched when I was watching all the 1991 stuff. It was just okay. In a world with so much Lupin the Third shit, this one is not particularly memorable. I would say it's probably better than the No Game No Life movie, but I don't see myself watching it ever again when I could just watch other Lupin the Third shit. This one I don't even remember watching. So that will also go in the C tier of Lupin.
Soy Boy.
Soul Bianca is a pretty okay 1991 sci-fi OVA.
Did you just put a Lupin the Third you don't remember in C when there's a don't remember category?
I mean, I remember, I started to remember it, and then I was like, oh yeah, it was just another generic. I mean, there's a lot of fucking Lupin the Third movies.
I know.
Soul Bianca, I would put in B. It was one that, it was just, like, generally pretty good. It's got a, like, cast of 5 hot girls who are, like, outlaws in space.
Lit ticket.
It could have been, like, a good 13-episode show and probably would have gotten above a 6, but because it's just 2 random episodes, just 2 stories that have no connection to each other, you know, like, very similar to Ten Ammonia Voyagers. There was, like, a bunch of this stuff in the 90s of just, like, they made a couple episodes of, maybe they were hoping it would get picked up as a full show, and it just didn't happen. It's hard to know. I don't remember watching Bao.
We watched it together.
Oh, that's right. We got mega high and did a commentary on it, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
I don't remember it at all.
It was really generic.
Was it?
It felt, yeah. It just felt like action. Like...
Okay, well, I'm going to put it in...
I mean, it was fun.
I'll put it in C tier, because I mean, actually, I might as well put it in impossible to remember.
You
I was so fucking
stoned.
baked. Same goes for Dirty Pair the movie.
Oh, I love Dirty Pair the movie.
Okay, Dirty Pair the movie we watched because it was from the same director as iCity, who happens to be the guy who created B Train and directed every B Train show. But like, iCity was such an incredible experience that we had to watch Dirty Pair, and we did a commentary for it. But not only were we baked, but we ended up getting so into the commentary that it just was a podcast.
Yeah.
You guys can watch this on the Patreon. If you're a patron, you can find this for $1. It's if you're a patron at all,
I remember
it's
it being a really fun time.
We just didn't pay any attention to it. Like, we had no idea what was going on, but it looked amazing.
Yeah.
I have to put it in S tier. It's worth rewatching eventually because I remember thinking it looked incredible. Urusei Yatsura 2, Beautiful Dreamer, I would put in S tier. This is considered a classic movie. It was like the debut of Mamoru Oshii. Personally, I thought that up until the famous head trip scenes, it was not that engaging. It's pretty much just an Urusei Yatsura filler movie that happens to look nicer than most. Blazing Transfer Student, definitely a S tier. In fact, I'm surprised I didn't give it a 7. It's probably one of those that like would have been a 7, but then I just couldn't remember any specifics about it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I would definitely watch it again. Slow Step, I put it in A tier. This is a Mitsuru Adachi adaptation from 91 that I watched because it came out in 91. Just a 5-episode OVA. It's pretty alright. Onboro Film, I would put this in S tier. This is the Broken film made by, what's his name? Fucking the main guy, the father of manga, the most important man. He created Dororo and Astro Boy. Tezuka. Osamu Tezuka. I put a clip from this in one of my videos. It transitions like to, it might be in it's right smack in the middle of We Have Accepted Mediocrity, I think. There's a part where like the screen starts flickering and shit.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Wolf's Rain, I would put it in A tier. There's a lot, well, maybe even S. I don't know. There's a lot to like about the show, but I don't think I'd ever watch it again. But, like, if I had to, I would. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I like the last 4 episodes a lot, which are technically an OVA. Which actually I might have scored differently. Like, I might have given the last 4... Yeah, because I think they're listed separately on Mal. So I might have given them a 7. So if we're just talking about the show, yeah, maybe A or B. Because I'm more likely to rewatch any of these than I would Wolf's Rain, because it's long.
Give it a B. And put it where it belongs, dog.
Panda Co Panda, I would give a solid S. It's Risao Takahata. Hayao Miyazaki got a start on it. I think it was probably...
Didn't we try to watch this?
A big inspiration for Totoro. Well, the thing is, this was at the height... Okay, when we first got into weed, I, realized that when you watch, really visually resplendent movies while you're high, it is the best conceivable experience.
Yeah.
And so for a while... we were just watching, Ghibli movies and, classic 70s movies and all this stuff that looks incredible. And then anything that didn't look incredible was impossible to watch high. We would try to watch TV, some of the best-looking TV anime, and it was still just boring. We would try to watch stuff that, that I know intellectually looks good and is good, but if it wasn't every single frame is the mind-searingly incredible, we couldn't watch it. So we tried to watch Panda Co Panda, and every frame was not mind-searingly incredible.
Segment. It was
we watched a couple minutes, and then we were can't do it. But I've seen it all before.
Yeah,
and
I'm
it is
excited
good.
to watch it again sometime.
The Door into Summer.
Oh, yeah.
This one was really interesting. I don't know if I'd watch it again. I think I'd put it at a B. That was one of the ones I watched for the...
together we've watched more 6s.
we have watched a lot of sixes together because of the fact that when we first started dating was when I was just watching. Okay, most of the sixes I complete are when I'm doing a project. Like, if I'm watching anime just for fun, if I see something that seems like it's going to be a 6 out of 10, I'm not that likely to go through with watching the whole thing because I'd rather watch. I have so much stuff on my plan to watch list that I know is above a 6. You know, like, I could go watch. We're in the middle of watching something right now that I have been meaning to finish for 15 years and is definitely above a 6. So, like, I'd rather watch that than a 6. And when I'm doing, like, finish or fail because it's for an end of the year list, I feel justified dropping the 6s because, you know, the point of it is just to collect the 15 best of the year or the 20 best of the year, you know. But if I'm doing a project where it's like, I want to watch all the 70s movies or I want to watch everything by this director, then it's like how good it is kind of incidental to just the project. I also feel like
I would make you watch a 6 if I was getting more out of it than you were. And that you'd be more willing to,
it's only really happened with A Channel. I think that's the only show I can remember. Like, most of these are just movies, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think
what about Zombieland Saga?
I wanted to watch Zombieland Saga because people had been telling me that it picked up, and I liked the first 2 episodes so much that I wanted the show to pick up, and it did. Like, episode 5 was one of the best, so that made us want to continue, and then it was still kind of a rocky road after that. Detatoko Princess gets an S. This is a really fun OVA from Shinbo from the 90s. I would definitely watch it again. I think that's another one that I initially had at a 7 and then took down at some point just because I didn't think it was as memorable as other stuff I'd given a 7 to, you know? All right, Sukeban Deka, the OVA. I would probably also give that an S. I think that's another one that was the same situation. Initially a 7, but then I was just like, it's not as good as the other things I've given a 7. Cleopatra DC, this is another 91 OVA, similar to the other ones that I mentioned. It was pretty alright. I would definitely see watching it again. Wouldn't compare it to the other shows. I would give it a B. Hatsu Inu, the animation. This is one of the most classic porns. Have you ever seen this one? It's about the girl with the frog vibrator, and she doesn't talk. All right, well, in the early mid-2000s, this was by far the most popular, the highest rated. Like, this is like the only porn that had like an 8 on Mal.
Wow.
Like people love it because it actually has like memorable characters. The main girl, like she's in love with this guy, and she like masturbates with his desk or something. I think he catches her, and like, but she's obsessed with this vibrator she has that is shaped like a frog, and she's like in love with the guy, but she's also in love with the vibrator, and he has to kind of, you know, try to get her unattached to the vibrator, but she doesn't talk at all. But like she has a good voice actress at the same time, so like, you know, her moans and stuff, like people just really liked it. People who are passionate about porn.
That's awesome.
But for me, while I appreciated it narratively and all that, I wasn't that attracted to the girls. A little too big of tits for my taste. It's decently animated. So I'm going to put it in the A category. I definitely would not choose it over the other one that I put in the S category as a rewatch. The Ninki Movie, this is a pretty decent action spectacle. Would not probably... Again, it's another one I wouldn't like really choose to put on, but I would be happy to see it again, you know.
Cool.
Time Stranger. Time Stranger was pretty interesting. I think I'd put it at an A.
Yeah, that sounds right. Sounds right. You need to get more Fs.
I know. Well, I mean, like, either of these could be a D or an F, really. It's like, I just want to put them in D just in case I find something worse, you know?
Yeah, something that you don't know why you gave as high of a score as a 6 to.
These are the second season of the Tachikoma specials. I remember them being slightly worse than the first season, so we'll put it at a B. Still fun, because it's Tachikoma specials. Ooh, Kara no Kyokai number 3. That would probably go in S tier. I mean, I still think that it's a really interesting and pretty good movie. Wada will be pissed about this because he apparently really hates Kara no Kyokai for some reason. He's like very passionately against it, and I don't understand. Like, it's not that I don't think that they are a little overrated, but like, I find the entire atmosphere and theming of them to be exceptionally interesting. The soundtrack is one of my favorites of all time. You know, the third movie is not one of the best, but it's also not the worst. So I think I'd put it in S. I would definitely watch it again, as I have done multiple times. 2x2 is Shinobuden, also
I
S tier.
fucking love that show.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's a lot of fun.
Immediately after watching that show, I like favorited all the doujins I could find that weren't disgusting.
The girls are really cute.
Yeah.
This one I literally don't remember at all, so that's going in impossible to remember. I think it's probably a music video because it's called Dore Dore no Uta. It might even be the one that Miyazaki did about just a bunch of bugs, like going about their daily lives.
Just like the new CG movie he's making.
Yeah.
Where the rain is poop.
Which one is Pikachu Tankentai?
Is that the one we just watched?
It's got Elekid. So it's...
Oh, it's a short. It's the short with Elekid. It's the second movie short.
Is it the second one? The one... Hold on. Let's...
Yeah. It's the one where there's Elekid.
Because that would be the Pichu and Pichu one, right? Oh, no, that's right.
Pichu and Pichu's the third movie.
All right, well, this is definitely S tier. I've watched it countless times. I gave it a 6 because it was a letdown compared to my memory of it and compared to Pikachu's Vacation, which is legitimately amazing. But I still do enjoy it, you know.
Yeah.
It's got lots of good Pokemon character art. All That Gundam is just like a 1-minute Gundam thing. It's just like all the Gundams looking cool. C, I don't think I'd watch it again, but I mean, there'd be no pain in doing so.
Gundam short.
Oh boy, what the hell is this? Oh, this is one of the music videos from my favorite music video person. It's pretty fucking lit. I'd put it at S. If you haven't seen my video recommending music videos for anime music videos, go check that out. Kids Castle. What the fuck is this?
Kids Cuisine.
Oh, is that the one? I think this is one where it's like these two kids in an empty lot and they're like competing. They're like making imaginary castles and throwing them at each other.
What?
Hold on. Actually, this doesn't even look familiar at all.
It's like Robot Jones.
I don't remember this in the fucking slightest, so that's going in impossible to remember. Fumiko's Confession, definitely S tier. I've watched it a bunch of times. It's pretty famous. You know what that one is, right? Where the girl confesses and then he rejects her, so she runs all the way down.
Yeah, that one's pretty great.
Hagure Gumo, pretty interesting movie from the great anime director who time forgot. I'd put it at a B. I can't really see myself rewatching it, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. Ore-imo. I would put Ore-imo at an A. I think the first 3 episodes are legitimately really good. And then the rest of the show is like hit or miss, but never great. Mm-hmm. It's like I could still see rewatching it, particularly the first 3, which I think are actually fun. I mean, but the rest of it was kind of a letdown.
It.
Yeah, it was. It just was like the early episodes were better than I expected them to be on the rewatch. Like I remembered liking the show back when it came out and giving it like probably a 7 at the time. Rewatching it, it was like, oh wow, this is better than I remember, and then immediately like, oh wait, this is not that amazing. I mean, it still has moments that are fun, but you know. Believe, this is a music video I don't remember at all. Probably watched it 12, 13 years ago. A channel, I would give a... I'll put it at a B. I can't see rewatching it, but I did think the first couple episodes were a lot of fun. It just kind of drags in places, and the fact that they have the fucking songs, the insert songs in like every episode...
They weren't very good.
Oh, Blood the Last Vampire is definitely S tier. I have watched it many times. It's not an incredible movie, but it's very easy to throw on and watch. Sword! Every time I think of that movie, I just think of... Because I grew up watching it dubbed, and there's a part where, like, Saya breaks her sword, like, early into the action, and she's trying to, like, guide this fat bitch around and, like, not get killed. And then, like, the FBI guys find her, and she just screams, "Sword!" And then they throw it to her, and she catches it, immediately spins around, and cuts a Karatron in half, and it's, like, the most badass fucking moment.
Incredible.
48x61 is a film about Rintaro, the director, being 61 years old, and the director of Akira, Katsuhiro Otomo, being 48. And the two of them have a bike race. They find each other on their bikes and they race. It's literally the directors. It's
incredible.
Yeah, I have to give it an S tier for concept alone.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. Nisei Monogatari, definitely S tier because there's so... I mean, I would definitely rewatch it. Like, I have frustrations with it, which is why I gave it a 6. But, there's also just fucking god tier moments in the show, without question. Wolf Children, I think I'd probably give it an A. I could definitely see rewatching it. It has things I like about it. I just think it's a little too normcore for my tastes. Peace Hame, I know this is porn, but I don't remember. Actually, this might be a really good one. I think this is one of the ones from this artist that I really like. Yeah, I believe this is the one where it turns into, like, the main character has to do a wrestling match to rescue his girlfriend, and it's fucking hilarious. Definitely S tier. One of my favorite porns of recent years.
If a porn is getting a 6 out of 10, it's probably a great porn.
Yeah, probably. Furiko, or Pendulum. This is one that Demolition D famously considered, like, a perfect film.
Okay.
And gave a 10 to.
Okay.
I think it is, on every technical level, absolutely great. It can make you cry in about 3.5 minutes, which is something. But
I think you showed this to me.
I don't care that much about it. I think I have to give it an A. I have to be fair. I would definitely watch it again. Little Busters, I would give... I could have sworn I gave Little Busters a 7. Maybe I only gave a 7 to the second season. But the second season is, like, where more of the plot happens. The first season is more like each girl's kind of arc. Mm-hmm. I like Little Busters. I would give it an S. Would definitely be willing to watch it again. Zetsuen no Tempest, I would give a B. It has the same problem as everything else in the B category. Starts strong, great action scenes, terrible ending, but, you know, it's fine. Take You, all of these are going in S. Kaguya Hime, definitely going in S, and I owe it a big rewatch. The fact that I've given it a 6 is probably would be considered controversial amongst people who take themselves seriously as anime viewers, but I don't know, man. It didn't do as much for me as I hoped when I saw it, but that was a long time ago. The Tender March, also an S. It's another music video from the guy who I like a lot. 3x3 Eyes. This one would get a B. It's one that it's basically, I feel exactly the same way about it as I do about Battle Angel Alita. That, like, it's based on a classic manga that was long running. It's sort of similar to Inuyasha, but like, it's that kind of vibe. But, like, it's just that the OVA doesn't cover much of the story. It just kind of picks up, like, you know, it's like the first volume or two
All I know
of a
about
long-running
the show
manga.
is that, at least for a while, it was, like, the number 1 show alphabetically on Crunchyroll.
That, I'm surprised it's on Crunchyroll, because it's just an OVA. But, Dareka no Manazashi, was this that one? This looks like it was the short directed by what's his fuck? You know, the guy whose stuff looks like this. Makoto Shinkai. Yeah, this is like a short about a girl moving out on her own for the first time.
Oh, we watched that one, right?
Yeah. I'd give it an A. It was pretty it was pretty delightful, not particularly memorable.
How are you remembering anything about that?
I remember
all?
almost everything.
I have a lot of
memory.
difficulty remembering shorts unless they really stand out.
Well, we didn't watch it that long ago.
Yeah, like a year and a half ago, probably.
Oh, I'm surprised I even gave this a 6 because I didn't really like it that much. This is one that was... It was a music video short that Yoko Kanno made the music for, but it's not exactly my type of music. It was made for the disaster relief of the 2011 earthquake.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of a big deal, but I mean, it's pretty boring. I would probably put it in F tier,
Well,
honestly.
You got an F now.
Noting, I like Noting. I would definitely rewatch it, so I'll put it in S tier. It's the biggest problem with this show. It's a rom-com. It's fairly generic, but when it's funny, it is really funny. The biggest problem with it is that like the last whole like 3 or 4 episodes, it tries to get serious, and it already had moments where it tried to get serious, and they're all terrible. Like that's when the show's at its worst. But the fact that the entire last stretch of the show tried to be serious really dragged it down. But if not for that, it would definitely be a rewatchable show. Maybe I'll kick it down to A. Well, I really like the funny episodes. I definitely would rewatch those. This one is the one where the guy has to make mental choices, where he has an affliction that he always has to make choices between something bad and something worse, basically. It's pretty funny. It's just a little too generic. This is one of those that like I would have given a 7, but I just couldn't bring myself to, so I'll put it in the S. It would be... I could conceive of rewatching it over Masamune-kun, but it's definitely like, you know, in that kind of category. Maybe an A, because I could more easily see returning to Noting than I could to Mental Choices. God, there's so fucking many of these. Tayu Tayu is an amazing porn from the same guy as Peace Hame. I definitely would put it in S tier. Take You goes to S again. What is this? JoJo Part 3, Stardust Crusaders. I would put that in the S tier. It used to be a 7, and I even had it on my top 20 of the year of 2014. But it's another one that like I kicked down because I just couldn't remember most of it. I mean, it's pretty much just like episodic battles, you know, that are sometimes ridiculous. And, well, they're all ridiculous, but sometimes they're fun. Sometimes they're just stupid. Like, there are certain episodes that I was just like, that was retarded, you know. Other times I'm like, well, that was pretty cool. I watched it with Shade. It was an alright time. The second half of Stardust Crusaders was mildly better, but I never finished it. I never got to the last 5 last 8 episodes, because Shade had just gotten busy with work, and we never got around to it. And I think he watched the rest of it with fucking Amber, so whatever. Gallo Sengen is a hilarious music video that I've watched many times about doing mushrooms and going Super Saiyan, so it definitely gets an S. Psycho Pass the movie, I would probably put it in S tier. It's pretty good. I'd watch it again. I was just a little let down that it's mostly action and the story is not that gripping, but it's still a pretty decent movie. It was a huge recovery after Psycho Pass 2. I don't remember this. I believe this is a music video. Ghost in the Shell 2. Have you ever seen Ghost in the Shell 2, the movie?
Yes, actually. I've seen the second one, yeah.
What did you think of it when you saw it?
Oh, it was pretty trash.
Yeah, you didn't like it?
I didn't like it.
It was fucking baffling. I literally didn't understand it. Like,
yeah, I remember being very confused and having no incentive to want to really know what was going on.
There's not a lot of movies that I can
like
really say I legitimately don't know what the fuck was happening, but that was one of them. The animation is fucking insanely stunning. I would have to put it in at least in the A category. Really? I definitely want to rewatch it.
I'm down to rewatch it again, but like...
I want to try to understand it, because it felt smart. It was like, wow, this is literally more than I can process. I legit can't understand. I am not intelligent enough for this movie. I really think Mamoru Oshii was just like, I'm going to do the craziest idea I have because I can get away with it because it's a Ghost in the Shell movie and people will watch it.
Yeah.
Because it's Ghost in the Shell. Tamako Love Story. It, by rights, should go in probably the S tier. It's a good-ass movie. I just, I was a little let down because I liked the show's bright, poppy atmosphere and character, and the movie is a bit more of like a low-key teen drama. Wasn't as much my thing, but it's still a really good movie. Last Orders is a music video I don't remember. Mushishi Season 2, I would put an S. It was pretty good. I think I originally had it as a 7, but then I just realized I couldn't remember anything that happened in it, so I lowered it. Crossroad. Ooh, what was this? Did we watch this recently? It looks like... I think this is another Makoto Shinkai thing. Yeah, this is the one that Makoto Shinkai did with the character designs by the guy who did... well, you tell me, what recent anime do you think this guy did character designs for?
Wow, could it be Your Name? Right?
No. Look at him more closely. It's Fuckers in the Franxx!
Oh boy, no, I couldn't tell.
I can totally tell just by looking at her.
I couldn't tell.
But anyway, I don't remember anything about this at all. So I'm going to put it in the F tier. Because we didn't watch it that long ago for me to have no memory of it. I mean, I think it's only like 3 minutes long. Yeah, it's 2 minutes. So.
Okay, looking at the boy, I can kind of see it.
Yeah, not from the girl.
I was looking at the girl and I just like...
She doesn't look like the glasses girl from... or like the bitchy main girl.
Yeah, I guess she kind of does, but the boy definitely looks more like...
I recognize it less because of that show and more because he also did... Wait, is it the... Yeah, okay, it is the Darling in the Franxx. I was like, oh shit, did I fuck up? I mostly know him for doing Ano Natsu de Materu because it has this girl that I love, Tanigawa.
Oh, she's
and
cute.
She looks just like that girl from that...
Yeah.
From that short. Unfortunately, this show is not good enough to finish.
I'm sorry that I'm spacing out. I'm just thinking about Detective Pikachu. Yeah, thinking about Anohana.
We gotta wrap this up. I didn't realize how long we were taking. Durarara Season 2 gets an S. Fucking The Insufficient Direction, the show about being Hideaki Anno's wife, gets an S. Fucking Poulette's Chair gets an S.
That should not be a 6.
Yeah, you would rank it higher?
Yeah.
That's fair. I don't remember By Your Side at all. Non Biori Season 2 was pretty fine. I'll put it in A. I definitely wouldn't choose to rewatch it, but I wouldn't be opposed. It was better than the first season. Miss Hokusai, I would also give it A. It's an interesting movie.
Miss Doubtfire?
No. Dragon Ball movie number 1. I don't remember watching the first Dragon Ball movie. I remember watching the first Dragon Ball Z movie. Unless that's... No, it looks like Young Goku. Yeah, that's impossible to remember. Torianse. This is a music video. Another one by that guy who I love a whole lot, but it's not my favorite by him. I think I'd probably put it in B.
I can't wait to make a Precure tier list. With all the movies and everything.
Yeah, somebody's got to make a full Precure with all the movies and all the shows.
I could just make the tier list when I finish.
That's true. You could do it yourself.
I'm going to be a fucking whiles away.
Before you're really capable.
I just finished Splash Star.
Barakamon, these are like the Barakamon shorts, like the little after-episode shorts. I remember them being pretty funny. The fact that I even gave them a 6 means they're probably pretty funny.
Yeah.
So I'll put them in the S tier. Monotonous Purgatory is a paint-on-glass animation short that's pretty aesthetically interesting. I'd probably put it at a B. I could see watching it again just to remember what it looked like, but, not necessarily for enjoyment. It Girl is definitely S tier.
Hell yeah.
You gave this, I think, a 10
I
out
did
of 10.
give it a 10. Because that's what 10s are for.
Yeah.
For things that are so you.
Do-da-da-da also gets an
It just made me
S
really happy.
Again.
In a way that other things have never made me that happy.
Oh, these are the specials for this show, Yu Shibu, which I think I gave the show a 7 and the specials a 6, because they're pretty alright. I would give probably an A. Yu Shibu is a decent fan service show. Mostly what I like about it is the way they animate tit bounce. Behind a Smile gets a F. It's I'm kind of surprised I didn't give it a 5, probably just because I like the action animation of it. It's just a music video that has a pretty neat aesthetic, but it's not really that memorable. Himitsu Spark is another pretty dope music video.
Yeah, we watched that one.
I would probably give that one an A. It's not as good as that other guy's videos. Jitsu wa Watashi wa, this was an enjoyable show. It's another one of those that's just slightly too generic for me to give it a 7, but I could definitely see revisiting it. This looks like some weird art film that I don't remember, so that's going in impossible to remember. Venus Wars, pretty good movie, really great aesthetic. The first half of it is a lot of fun. The second half is just okay. I will give it... This is one of those that, like, borders on being a 7, but at the same time, I can't see rewatching it more than, like, once, just because there's a lot I don't like about it. It would mostly be to, like, refresh my memory of the visuals, so I'll put it in the A category. Fucking Chivalry of a Failed Knight. I'm gonna give it a... is it a B or a C? There's no way I'll ever watch it again. I mean, it was, like, acceptable. I definitely think that I got most of my enjoyment out of it from the fact that I had just watched the Asterisk War, and it was so much better.
Yeah.
But I can't see ever watching it again. Wakaba Girl. This, like, borders between B and C. Well, compared to the other stuff in C, I'd give it a B. It's another one that's just, like, slightly too generic. Mudai, I think this is a music video for a, like, Bump of Chicken song or something. That's pretty... It's got, like, a story. It's, like, a little bit more actually story-driven than most of these music videos are, but I don't really remember much about it. I'm gonna put it in.
I'm sure that I watched it. I don't remember anything.
God, I forgot about Haru Chika and that I watched the whole thing. Do you remember Haru Chika? Did you watch any of it?
I don't think so.
It was the one about, like, the detective schoolgirl that PA Works did.
No.
It's okay. It was one of those that, like, the entire show, I wanted it to be good. Like, I kept hoping it would be good, and it was never quite good. It was always okay. So I think I would put it at a B. It's definitely, like, Mayo Iga tier. This I do not remember at all. Flying Witch I would also put at a B. It has moments that are pretty memorable. I can't see myself returning to it, but I wouldn't be opposed to it either. This is a Shirayuki Hime OVA or something? I don't even remember. Sancha Sanyo, I would give it an A. I did legitimately like a lot of it. There was just a lot of episodes that were just kind of mediocre, but it wouldn't be hard to rewatch. This is a music video that's really good, so I'd give it an S. And finally, we have Yugen Kaisha, which is another one of those pretty good 90s OVAs that would have been a 7 if not for the fact that I barely remember it, so that gets an S. And there you go. That is
That's beautiful.
The full chart of things I gave a 6. So the majority of it is stuff that, like, is almost a 7. It's just, like, not as good as the stuff I gave a 7.
Yeah.
So these are, like, the high 6 ones.
That makes sense, because why would you sit through a show and under most circumstances that you didn't consider to be good?
Right. Like, most of the time,
Like, yeah.
the only reason I would finish a show is if I thought it was good. But I will finish a lot of like music videos, and like if you go into the lower scores below a 6, it's mostly music videos and like and movies and shorts. Yeah, like because there's not a lot of TV shows I'm gonna watch all the way through. But if you go to the very bottom, like the 1-2 category, it's a lot of full shows that I had to suffer all the way through, and that made me hate it even more. But like a lot of these things I gave a 6 are things that it's like, yeah, okay, I don't regret this, but I just don't think I'd ever choose to watch it again. Like, these all border on being 5s.
Are there any that you want to change the score for?
There's, like, certain things in here in this top section that I'm like, oh, man, that could be a 7, but, like...
You have to rewatch it to confirm.
And I just feel like if I go into the 7 category, I'll be like, actually, I understand why these were 6s, you know? But, like, if we were to really have, like, a full number scale, these would all be, like, 6.5, probably. And then these would be, like, 1, 2, or 3. Like anything beyond this would be, like a flat 6 to a 6.5. Anything down here would probably be, like, a 5.6 to a 5.9. And I've thought of my list, like, if you go to my Mal... it hasn't been updated in an eternity, but there's this link to the actual scores that I give with a point. And so I consider it to be anything from 5.6 through 6.5 is listed as a 6. But there is a full gradient. I just haven't updated it in years. And, well, it got to a point where there were enough shows that I couldn't remember, like that I could... Like,
yeah, I started moving. Back and...
Yeah, like I started moving things around based on my memory of them, like thinking, oh well, I don't remember this being as good as this score. You need like a grading criteria,
like a teacher would have.
But I change it all the time. I've done, dude. I used to in my anime blogging days. I had so many posts that were like, "Here's my new score rubric," and then like I would change my mind, and so All right, well, we're gonna go see Detective Pikachu. So
expect more content.
Yeah, in the near future.